Let's get started. Let's start today in a child's pose. Coming onto your mat, taking your knees about as wide as the mat, maybe even a little wider. Your big toes gather to touch. Reach your arms long in front of you. Release the forehead down and breathe. Just taking these first few moments to allow yourself to fully arrive, to feel supported by the mat rising to meet you. Allowing yourself to melt into it, and giving yourself permission to put the world on pause for the next 45 minutes or so. Our theme for this week, Satya, truthfulness, the second of the Yamas in our 8 limbs of yoga deep dive. Truthfulness in all things. In the mind, of course, is where our thoughts originate. So in our practice today, we're going to come to our postures, to our flowing with complete honesty, which to me means a radical self-acceptance of everything going on. So some days that may mean that something feels especially good, more open, you're able to go deeper or bigger into a shape. Sometimes it might mean that it's a little tougher or even that it's not available to you. That's okay. The point is not to make the shape. The point is to find the truth in your body as reflected in the shape. Just take one expansive round of breath together. Big inhale, feel the ribs open. Deep exhale, feel the chest melt. And then slowly, mindfully, walk your hands to the upper right corner of your mat. Create as much length and space as you can between the left ribs. And then notice if all of your weight shifted into the right thigh, and see if you can really even out your hips. So really send the left hip crease back. Make that deeper. Breathe. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then walk your hands back to the center and to the upper left. Same idea here. I try to imagine from the top of the pelvic bone on the right side, up through the ribs, through the side body, through the armpit, through the arm, all the way to the pinky finger. Big expansive inhale. Deep exhale. And then coming back to center, making your way to all fours. This first little bit of cat and cow as usual, just take your time. Move with your own breath. You're not obligated to anything except for exploring how your back feels, how your body feels, especially those of us doing it now in the morning, waking up through that space. So link your movement and breath. Most of you know, if you've done any of my videos or taken my classes, I really love turning my hands over on the mat. It just feels so nice on my wrists. So maybe you do that. And then come back to your neutral. When you're ready, index finger points straight ahead, thumbs point towards one another, and then wrap those elbows under. Step back, high plank, top of a push-up. If this becomes a little bit too intense, you can always release the knees down. We're going to do some scapular push-ups here. All that means is essentially cat and cow, but in your plank. So separate the shoulder blades, round the upper back, scoop the belly out, keep those thighs nice and active. And then draw the shoulder blades together as you pull your chest forward and look a little forward, but still keep the legs active. Inhale here. Exhale, round the upper back. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, separate the shoulder blades. Inhale, draw them together. Exhale, separate, and then send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. It can be a little bit intense, so if you need to take a second extra to pedal out the heels a little more, if you need to even pause the recording if you're watching it in playback, you can certainly do that. Bring your attention to any points of contact you have with the mat, so starting with the 10 fingers, really feel like you're gripping the mat with the fingertips, and then shifting your attention to your feet. Find the connection through the balls of the feet. Maybe your heels make it to the mat, maybe they don't. So again, total honesty, total truthfulness. Notice how you're feeling. If that means you need to bend your knees more than normal, feel free. Remember, down dog is meant to feel like it's a position of rest. So what can you soften? What can you ease yourself into? Wonderful. Come back to your neutral. If you've been moving around, come back to stillness. And then use the inhale to unfurl the spine. Come forward to your plank. Exhale, back to down dog. Great. We'll do twice more like that. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, up and back. Third and final. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, hips up and back. So we have the option here to add a push-up-y thing. So as you inhale, roll forward. As you exhale, this first round, lower your knees and then lower your chest and your chin. And then from here, can you push straight back to downward facing dog? It's a big change, so if you need to take it slower, feel free. You can keep coming down to your knees, or we'll do a push-up, a yoga push-up chaturanga. Inhale, roll forward. This time exhale, lower halfway, elbows squeeze the rib cage, and then push the floor away, downward facing dog. Wonderful. Last one. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Soft knees, walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Let's take a ragdoll here. So feet about as wide as your hips, holding opposite elbows. Sway the hips left and right. Soften through the neck, soften through the back. Should feel really good. And then release those elbows. Roll up slowly. Press down through the four corners of the feet. Stack each vertebra one at a time. And arrive in your mountain pose. Arms can be long beside you or in prayer, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Soften through the tops of the shoulders. Soften through the breath. Maybe say something nice to yourself. We'll begin with one round of a sun salutation. So, find your feet, find the connection of the four corners of your feet, and then feel the pinky edges of the feet as though they're trying to pull the mat apart, which gives you a little lift in the arches of the feet. I really like that feeling. It also gives you a little extra quadricep engagement. Arms are long beside you. On your next inhale, sweep your hands overhead, reach up, look up. As you exhale, swan dive, bow forward. On your inhale, flat back, gaze forward, hands can come to shins. As you exhale, step the left foot way back, release the knee down, and untuck the toes. Inhale, come up into your crescent lunge, called Anjaneyasana. Find the connection at the top of the back foot, pressing down the four corners of the front foot, also pressing down, and soften through the tops of the shoulders. And just like in our child's pose, lengthen the side body. Breathe into those ribs. Maybe the arms travel back. Maybe the head follows the arms. Inhale. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. We'll take one vinyasa here. Inhale, roll your spine forward. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. On your next inhale, lift your right heel high to sky. Really actively flex through the right foot And then as you exhale, step the foot between the hands as softly as you can. If it doesn't make it, just grab the ankle and bring it up. Find your grounding first, and then rise up into your high lunge. Activate through the left thigh. Again, you can lean back here a little bit maybe. Inhale. As you exhale, push off the left foot, forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. As you inhale, root to rise, hands meet overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. Good. All right, let's do that again on the other side. Inhale, sweep the hands overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, steps the right foot back. Release the knee and untuck the toes, setting up your crescent lunge. Nice and low. Wrap those shoulder blades under. Again, we always start with the floor, so find the connections you have with the floor and then rise up out of that. Maybe lean back. Inhale. As you exhale, hands frame the front foot, step back, downward facing. One vinyasa. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, chaturanga or knees chest chin. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. One big round of breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, lifts the left heel high to sky. Flex the left foot so the left pinky toe points straight down. And on your next exhale, bring that knee towards your nose, step it through. Find your grounding first, and then rise up, high lunge. Really active through the right thigh as well. So if it wants to dip down, see if you can squeeze it straight and strong. Inhale. Exhale, push off the back foot, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold and stay. Find a moment here of rest, of grounding, of release through the back. If you're comfortable with it, bring your big toes to touch. And ankles can touch or be a little separated, whatever feels better in your body. You can also have the feet hip width apart. We're coming directly from here into chair pose. So bend your knees quite a lot. Allow your chest to rest on your thighs. And then find a little extra scooping of the tailbone down the pelvic bone forward. And then sweep the arms by the ears. Again, all that good softness through the shoulders, all that good length through the side bodies. Now look up between your hands. If you'd like, hands can come to prayer. If that feels too tight, don't worry about it. Truthfulness, right? Inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Good. Inhale, flat back, prepare. As you exhale, step, float, or hop back to your chaturanga, half push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your attention to the ball mound of the left foot. That's your power center right now. That's going to be your standing leg. And then use that to push the right foot forward. So the right foot's moving, but the left leg does the work. And then float up into your warrior one. Back foot spirals down, so you have the whole back foot on the mat. Energize through the pinky edge of the back foot, the four corners of the right foot. Square your heart, square your hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take a vinyasa. I love sun salutation. It's maybe my favorite of sort of the standard flows because it's challenging, but we do it a lot, so it becomes familiar. And in that familiarity, sometimes you can really focus on what's going on without having to worry about what's coming next. Inhale, lift the left heel high. Nope. Take your attention now to the ball mound of the right foot. Feel that activity, that strength, that grounding of the ball mound of the right foot, then push off of that to bring the left foot between the hands. If it doesn't make it, grab the ankle, bring it up, then rise up, warrior one. Good. Set up your shape. Pinky edge of the back foot, nice and active. Four corners of the front foot, super active. Square the heart, square the hips. Maybe float the arms back. Inhale. Exhale, take a vinyasa. Or you can always skip these. So if at any point, if you're being truthful with yourself and something feels like too much, then you're right, it's too much. So you take a break. You can pause the recording if you're watching on the recording. Take child's pose if you're with us in real time. Thank you. Wonderful. One more round of breath. Big inhale. Deep exhale. Soften your knees, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale here. And then as you inhale, float to the top of the mat or step. Find your flat back and bow on your exhale. Inhale, sink the hips, raise the arms, chair pose. Exhale, come to stand, mountain pose. Good. So we'll do that through one more time. One breath per movement. So it's going to go a little more quickly. That's okay. It'll be fast. Nothing wrong with that. If something feels like it's too fast and you need to go a little slower, we'll all meet back here at a certain point anyway. So no big deal. Gather the toes to touch if that's comfortable, ankles to touch if that's comfortable. Otherwise, you can be a little pigeon-toed, which is what I like personally. Activate through the fingertips, activate through the feet. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, prepare. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, fill the breath, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, fill the breath, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, steps the left foot between the hands. Rise up, warrior one. And then at the top of that exhale, top of that inhale, use the exhale to come back. Excellent. And downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. As you inhale, step, float, or hop. Top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Really good. So we're going to build on that just a little bit. I'm going to add some stuff to it. If something feels like too much, then you're right. It's probably too much, so you'll skip it or you'll take a modification as you need. Find your feet. Find your fingertips. Find your breath. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward over strong legs. Inhale, flat back, prepare. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here's where things change a little bit. Inhale, lift your right heel high to sky. Down dog split. Bend your knee and stack your hips if that's comfortable for you. Try to energize evenly through both hands and see if you can't find a big line from the right knee through the right hip flexor all the way through the heart space and down into the mat. Feel that. Inhale here. Exhale, bring that right knee to the left tricep. Scoop out the belly, strong legs. Sweep it up and back, down dog split. We'll do that again. Exhale, knee to elbow, to left elbow. Inhale, down dog split. This time as you exhale, can you kick that right foot all the way through, bring it off the mat, float the left arm high. This is fallen triangle pose. That feels like too much, then you're right, you'll go back to down dog. Great. Inhale here. As you exhale, set the left hand down. As you inhale, step back, down dog split. As you exhale, step the right foot between the hands, runner's lunge. Then rise up, warrior one. Really good. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the right palm over, reach forward, and then up and back. Peaceful warrior. The left hand can catch the right hip crease. Fingertips reaching back. Feel all that space between your ribs. Inhale here. As you exhale, listen carefully. Cartwheel the left hand down beside the right foot. Float the right arm high. You can also lift that left heel. Stay active through the left leg. So in a nice twist here, look up. Inhale. Exhale, hand frames the front foot, step back, take a vinyasa, or skip it if you'd rather. We'll meet back in down dog either way. Breathe. Remember, down dog is rest. So let yourself feel softness here. Find the energy that you need. Don't feel like you have to do too much. So again, truthfulness. What do you need to do the shape? What can you release? Lift your left heel high to sky. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Find that same line of energy moving through the front of the left quadricep, through the left hip flexor, all the way down into the mat, through the heart. Inhale. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, kick that foot through, fallen triangle. Right arm goes high to sky. Look up. Feel a little extra lift in the low ribs. Stacking shoulders. Active legs. Inhale. Exhale, sets the left hand down. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, float the foot between the hands. Inhale, warrior one. Good. Softness. Where do you need energy? Where do you need ease? Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reach forward, and then up and back. Peaceful warrior. I like trying to catch my left hip crease with the right hand. That doesn't feel good to you, then right hand can be down on the right leg. Inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel the right hand down beside the left foot. Take the left arm high to sky. Super active through the right leg as well. Look up. Inhale. Exhale, set that left hand down. Step back. Take your vinyasa or skip it. Meet in downward facing dog. We're going to be here for a few breaths. So, you might need a little child's pose moment or a sip of water. Now's a nice time. Inhaling. Exhaling. Also a good time to sigh, flutter out the lips, soften the neck. If you're in child's pose, make your way back to down dog. One round of breath, big inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward. As you inhale, float, if you can, to the top of the mat. Otherwise, step. Bow over your strong legs, exhale. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. We'll do one more round. I swear it gets easier. We'll do one more round. Again, I'll add a couple of things. If you like it, wonderful. If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to do any of this. Take a moment. Reflect on why you arrived on the mat today, what your intention was and is. Take your arms long beside you. Find the connection of the feet. Find the activity of the fingertips. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, make your way back to down dog in whatever way serves you. For you, that might mean stepping right back. That's all right. All right, we're going to do that sequence again. Lift the right heel high, bend the knees, stack the hips. Inhale. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, sweep across. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, sweep across. This time, lengthen the leg. Fallen triangle. Maybe this time you hover the right leg. Maybe not. The next exhale brings the left hand down. Inhale brings the right heel up. Exhale steps the right foot between the hands. Good. Rise up. Runner's lunge as you inhale. Sorry, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the left hand down beside the right foot. So you can stay like this, or maybe the right foot steps over the left leg. Wild thing. Try to get the ball of the left foot all the way to the mat. Reach up and back. It's a nice back bend heart opener. Inhale. As you exhale, right hand comes to the mat. Chaturanga. Upward facing inhale. Downward facing exhale. Yeah, I know, it's a lot. What are you saying to yourself now? What is true? What is honest? And what is fear? Fear and truth can never live in the same place. Inhale, lift your left heel high to sky, bend the knees, stack the hips. Let the knee get a little higher as you inhale. To opposite tricep as you exhale. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, up and back. As you exhale, kick the foot through, fall in triangle. Option to hover the leg. Option not to. Look up, inhale. Exhale, sets the right hand down. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. As you exhale, cartwheel that right hand down beside the foot. Float the left arm high. You can stay like this, or you can step that left foot all the way over. Boom. Open the heart. Try to get the whole right foot on the mat. Press down through the ball of the left foot. Look up. Inhale. Exhale. I'm coming back to chaturanga. Left hand down. Bend those elbows. Good job. We meet in down dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. As you inhale, step, floater, hop to the top of the mat. Bow over your strong legs, exhale. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Good job. I'm a little sweaty. Maybe you are too. Nothing wrong with that. Take your feet about as wide as the mat. My toes are going to be off the mat and my heels are on it. We're going to come down very slowly into our malasana squat. So you can have your hands on your hips. That's a little easier. Or in prayer, if you want more challenge, over your head. Right, all that length. Make sure you stay grounded in the heels. Keep that connection. We slowly start to bend the knees, coming down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, halfway, 4, 3, 2, nice job. Bring your hands into prayer, pushing your thighs out with the arms, squeezing the arms with the thighs. So one more little challenge here. You're more than welcome to hang out in your malasana. Maybe you sit up on a block or whatever you've got. It is important the heels are down here. So if you're way down here, maybe you sit on something. I'm going to float myself a little further back on the mat because we're going to have the option here to play in a little crow or crane if you'd like. If you've been following along, we worked on these last month, so several videos ago. So if you go back on YouTube or Instagram, there's a little crow prep there if you want to work on that on your own. Otherwise, we'll just do a little bit right now. Planting the hands, you want them to be as wide as your shoulders. So just notice the straight line from shoulders down to fingertips, maybe even a little bit wider. And then you have the option here of squeezing the tops of the arms, or maybe you bring the knees into the triceps or the armpits. And then for today, maybe just come onto your toes, back to your heels. Scoop out the belly, push the floor away, down to your heels. So essentially you're coming into a cat shape in your back with a lifted chin. Maybe you float the feet, maybe not. Good. Look forward, think forward, scoop out belly, separate shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale, come back down if you came up at all. Good job. Why do we do that stuff? Well, certainly it's a moment of honesty. You can't lie about balance. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. But there's always stuff to work on for all of us. There's certainly things I'd like to do that I can't just yet. So I'm sure if that feels unavailable to you, trust and believe that simply getting used to what it is to have some more weight in your hands, more weight in your heels. That's enough. You've actually achieved the point of the pose if you've just even found that connection. Great. Have a seat. Let it go. Plant your feet. Give your knees a little hug. Lift the heart. Roll down slowly, one vertebra at a time, arriving on your back. Reach your arms long beside you and walk your heels in so your fingertips are able to brush the heels. Feet, again, can be a hip width, or I think a little bit wider than your hips might feel nicer. I think that might be a little bit better alignment for a lot of us, but fully up to you. Lift your toes, find the four corners of the feet, and then slowly start to curl the front of the pubic bone towards the heart, pressing down through the feet, lifting lower, middle, upper back. If you prefer more restorative shape, have a block handy and slide it under the top of the pelvic bone. You don't want it in the low back, but right on the pelvis. There's a little more support. You can wrap the shoulder blades under. You can find plow arms, so interlacing your fingers. Or if you'd like, you can float the hands beside the ears. Again, you want them a little wider than your shoulders. Make sure your elbows point straight to the sky, and then press down to lift into your wheel shape. Maybe your baseball cap falls off. Energy through the legs, more energy through the arms. Breathe. If you feel crunchy in your back, then that's not it. It's more about legs, more about heart. And then lower down. Slowly tuck the chin. Those of you who are in bridge, oh, all of us actually, never mind. Everybody comes feet as wide as the mat, knees not to the midline. Feel yourself supported. Breathe into the back. Bring your legs into a tabletop shape. Knees are stacked over hips. Legs are 90 degrees. Arms are long beside you. We're gonna do a little bit of core stuff to counter the back bend. So lift the shoulder blades off the mat. So you can keep your legs bent. You can straighten them 90 degrees. Your choice. On your next inhale, lower the right heel towards the mat. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, lower the left heel towards the mat. Exhale, bring it back. Twice more per leg. Inhale, lowers the right. Exhale, brings it back. Inhale, lowers the left. Exhale, brings it back up. Keep the low back pressing down, shoulder blades lift as you lower the right. Bring it back. Lower the left. Bring it back. Now give those knees a hug. Make little circles on your low back one way and the other. Lovely. So we're going to do that one more time. This time you have the option of doing one leg at a time or both legs. If you're doing one leg, you'll do 3 per leg. If you're doing both, it'll be 6. So start by deciding knees bent, which is a great option, or legs straight. Make your feet active, flexed or pointed, your choice. Arms long beside you, lift the shoulder blades, lift the heart, low back presses down. So again, you'll choose one leg or 2. I'll just say lift and lower. So as you inhale, lower one or both heels. As you exhale, back up. That's 1. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Inhale, lower. Keep the heart lifted. Exhale, back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. We have 2 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale, back up. And then bring the knees in. Draw the knees towards the armpits, coming into a happy baby shape. So you can keep the holding the shins, hugging the knees in. You can flex the feet towards the ceiling. You can thread the arms inside the thighs, catching blade edges of the feet or big toes in your yogi toe lock. Always your choice. Give a little rock and roll if that feels good. And just let the weight of your upper body
pull your back and your legs down. So you're not muscling it. You're just letting gravity, do the work. Which sometimes is hard. It's hard to trust that, that's enough. We don't have to push through things. Brutal honesty, right? Total self-acceptance. Release that. Bring the knees into touch. Keep the right knee close as you send the left leg long. Then take a supine twist. So guide that right shin across your body. Right arm can be long beside you in a T shape or cactus, or it can be closer in if that feels good. Again, let gravity do the work for you here. You don't have to force anything. But try to soften both shoulder blades into the mat. Heart points up. And come on back into the center. Bend your left knee, plant the left foot on the floor, cross the right ankle at the left knee. We're setting up for a supine pigeon here, or a reclined pigeon. You can keep it just like this with the left foot down, or you can interlace your fingers behind the left hamstring or around the left shin. That does not matter as much. It's all about finding what is going to help open up that right hip the most. So this is about the right outer thigh, those IT bands or abductors, and about the hip space. So really breathe into it, inhaling and exhaling. Good, again, inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Let it go on the exhale. Plant the feet about as wide as the mat. Windshield wiper the legs left and right. We'll do the other side. Start by drawing both knees in. Give a little hug, and then send the right leg long. Keep the left knee close. Release the head down to the mat if you raised it, and guide that left shin across your body. Left arm can be long or in a cactus shape. Maybe you look to the left. Find ease here. Sometimes, oftentimes, for me at least, the ego wants for me to be fancy. And truly, teaching yoga has taught me sometimes in a very humbling way that I am not always the best in the room. I'm not always have the strongest practice. I'm rarely the most flexible. And allowing myself to be honest about that. Coming back into the center, set up for your supine pigeon. Plant the right foot, cross the left ankle at the right knee. Thread the needle or not. Keep breathing into that hip space. At any rate, recognizing that I don't have to be. That I'm not performing, I'm not showing off, I'm practicing with you, guiding you into what is best in your body, which has little or nothing to do with what's best in mine. Or with the person on the mat next to you or in the Zoom window beside you. Inhaling. Exhale, let that go. One last little windshield wiper of the knees. Walk your legs out. Feet about, heels about as wide as the mat. Feet flop open. Shavasana. Let go of the work. Allow the yoga to work on you. Start to find a little life in your fingers and toes. Return to your awareness of breath. Return to awareness of your body on the mat. Walk your feet in slowly, feeling each footprint, bending the knees towards the ceiling. Gently roll onto your favorite side and make your way to sit. Any comfortable seat is great. Gathering your hands into prayer at heart center, returning to the mat, returning to the floor where we started, observing what might feel different than it did a fairly short time ago. Acknowledging the work that you have done, finding gratitude for the honesty that allows us to continue to grow in our practice in every way. You can't get where you're going if you don't know where you are. We'll seal our time together with the sound of one Om. First one full round of breath, inhale fully. Exhale deeply. Inhaling for Om. Bringing your thumbs to your forehead, bowing your chin towards your chest, the light that is in me bows to and honors the light that is in you. When I'm in that space in me and you are in that space in you, we are one. Namaste. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like, share, and follow dailyflow.yoga.